Hey, I was talking to a coaching client the other day, and this concept came up in our call, and I thought it was worth a video. The concept is this: the reason that we are in a relationship determines the quality of it. In other words, the purpose in which we enter into a relationship with a significant other determines the quality of the love, the quality of the communication, whether or not the two of you are loyal to each other, and whether or not the relationship lasts or goes into a tailspin and crashes. So, as an example, let's look back at middle school, high school, why people get into relationships. Typically, it's because there's maybe being with somebody at that age allows you to rise in status. You end up looking cool if you are dating the high school quarterback, or if you're a guy, maybe if you're dating the hottest girl in school that all your friends want to be with, you get some type of respect from your peer group, and hence your status rises. Now, if we look at that relationship, those relationships, what's really possible in terms of communication between the two of them, right? Is the context that's created by the reason of being in the relationship big enough to be able to handle any breakdowns in communication? Is it able to withstand any type of incompatibility or mismatch of values? Is there any room for the person pulling away or any honest communication between the two people? Probably not, because the reason does not go that deep. The reason isn't big enough to withstand what it takes for the relationship to last. Now, unfortunately, people get into relationships for very similar reasons out of high school 10, 20, 30 years later. They've just have a different outfit on them. Maybe they're just a little bit more complicated, but a lot of times they still are around fear, perhaps status, perhaps security. I'll give you a couple examples. Some people get into relationships because they don't want to be alone. And if you are afraid to be alone, then the quality of that relationship is going to be one in which if your partner begins to pull away, or your partner just needs some space, it could very well trigger you feeling alone, and suddenly autonomy in the relationship becomes something that is just, it's not acceptable, and it becomes the catalyst that could ultimately break the two of you up. It also creates a codependency between two people when the reason that you're in a relationship is because you're afraid to be alone. Another reason could be because you're wanting some type of financial security. Now, I get it, right? There's a certain level of security that a partnership brings. However, if that is your reason, if that is the reason that you are with that person, the moment financial security is questioned, or if that foundation falters at all, then suddenly the relationship gets thrown into this limbo where suddenly the person that you're with starts to question your real commitment to them, or whether maybe you start questioning your real commitment to that person as well. And the thing about the reasons is that regardless of whether you say them out loud, regardless of whether you've said, hey, I'm with you because of XYZ, they know. They instinctually know because the two of you are together. And if they don't know, they sure as hell have a sneaking suspicion as to why you're with them. And it's just something that the two of you don't talk about. Now, another reason that people are in relationships is because maybe your partner makes you look good, or somehow they help you in terms of status. And again, when that becomes something that can be taken away, then suddenly the foundation of the relationship doesn't allow for honest communication. It doesn't allow for fights. It doesn't allow for an honoring of values. And there's no real bandwidth or context in the relationship that allows you to fight for something that is bigger than the reason that you got into it. So, given what I've just talked about, what are some reasons to get into a relationship that will allow you to create something that stands the test of time, where you can be in a relationship that lasts 30, 40, 50 years and until death do you part? Well, a couple of them might be, one, we might think, okay, love. Now, we got to get more specific here, because when people say love, they say, okay, well, I'm in a relationship because of love. I'm fighting for love. Well, what love are you fighting for? Are you fighting for your need to be loved by somebody? Because that's very different than fighting for the relationship as a platform for you to express love, which I think is a much more higher reason that creates a atmosphere of generosity and smashes any keeping score that might happen between the two of you, and allows you to really be your best self in the relationship, and also asks your partner to be their best self as well. Another reason could be, Dr. Robert Glover talks about this, which is seeing the relationship as a personal growth machine. So, what if the reason that you're in your intimate relationship is because you see that person as a gateway to a transformed, better you, and vice versa? Imagine what's possible within that context, within that reason. Imagine how the two of you would deal with fights, disagreements, how if somebody needed some space and autonomy in the relationship, how there would be so much more acceptance around that, because everything that happens you could see as an opportunity for you to step into bigger shoes, expand your consciousness, expand your heart, be more accepting, be more loving, be more supportive, right? So as we wrap this up, I request that you look into your own life and you bring the spotlight of your mind onto your relationship, and you think, so what are my reasons for being in my relationships right now? Why am I friends with certain friends? Is there something that I'm getting from them that is going unspoken? Is there something that I'm giving, right? Am I in this relationship for the highest reason? Am I with my partner for the highest reason because I see it as perhaps a way to be my best self and to give my presence? Or am I in it because I'm trying to get something, right? So the first step is becoming conscious of it. And then the second step is choosing the reason that's going to allow you to be congruent with where you ultimately want to go in life with your relationship, where you want to take it, whether that's get married, have a family, or have a really deep level of devotion to one another. So if you'd like a guide on how to create a rock-solid relationship, click on the link below this video. It goes straight to my website, and you can enter in your email address, and I've created a guide that actually talks about 8 principles of creating a rock-solid relationship. And once you put in your email, I'll send you the guide via a PDF, and you can feel free to respond to the email, ask me any questions you got. I love questions, and I look forward to hearing from you.